Alright, another night, another movie vlog for Asian cinema season. I'm going to try and get this intro done really quickly so my dinner doesn't get cold. Beef tacos, as always, with these movie vlogs. Whenever I've got a night alone and a movie, I usually pick beef tacos as my dinner of choice. The Ballad of Narayama, the original from 1958, directed by Keisuke Kinoshita. I've seen the remake of this from the 80s, directed by Shohei Imamura, which I think is an incredible film, all shot on location, whereas this film is all done on stage. So I'm really looking forward to seeing a story that I really enjoy, done in a completely different style visually. I'm not sure about the sensibility of the way that the story is told, but just from the visual aspect, I'm intrigued to see how this one plays out. And it is about a village in which the rule is when you reach 70 years old, you have to go up to Mount Narayama and die, basically. You just go up there and you wait it out until you're done. It's a way of kind of, population control, I suppose. This is outdated mode of thinking displayed in this story, and it's about this woman who's approaching her 70th birthday. Oren, I believe. Yes. So, I'm really looking forward to checking this out. This is the Criterion edition. It's one of those bare bones ones that is pretty cheap. You can get it for under $20, I think. There's just a trailer and a teaser, no special features, so it always goes fairly cheaply. I've been looking forward to checking it out for a very long time. I love that cover artwork, so let's dive into the film and I'll give you my thoughts as I'm going, or at the end. We'll see how I feel when I'm watching it, but I'm very excited to check it out for the first time. Here we go. Alright, I got my beef, my taco shell crumpled up to give it that crispy kind of crunch, and I've got some cucumber and lettuce and the sour cream and salsa. I'm so hungry. I've been so busy today. I finally get a moment to myself and I've barely eaten anything. So when you're just so hungry that like you're almost like shaking with excitement to eat dinner? That's where I'm at right now. So I cannot wait to eat and check out this film. Also got some Pepsi Max with a cherry. Whew, okay, dinner was good. It was filling, but I think I amped myself up a bit too much because it wasn't as nice as I was expecting it to be. I used a different spice. There are various different spice packets you can buy for beef tacos, and I couldn't get the one I normally get because it's in another shop. There's another 20-minute walk away, so I decided to get this different kind, and I won't be doing that again. It had like a harder bite to the spicy taste of it. I don't know. It was nice, it was filling, but a little bit disappointed. Not how I usually like my tacos. Anyway, I'm 22 minutes into the film, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving the visual style, and that's really the main selling point of the film right now, anyway. Because there's this element they're using which I don't really like very much, and that's in between the dialogue scenes, you have this singing that is telling you what's happening in the story. A character will walk into the room and stop, and then the song will be like, the grandson walks in on this terrible day, that kind of thing. And this is, let me get the remote control, this is what it sounds like. A bit of singing. I don't mind the guitar. Right. That was the mother is filled with joy, and it's like, it's quite grating. I don't like it. I like that it tells the story, but I don't like the singing style. It really is quite grating. But apart from that, I'm really enjoying it because it's at the beginning, like, there's a man on stage saying, "Hello, welcome to the Ballad of Narayama, and this is a story of this. Please enjoy." And then we get the credits, and then the curtain pulls back, and we see the stage. This is very much like a stage play come to life, but on a grander scale, obviously, because it's a movie. Like, there's a character walking across this field, and in the background you can see the houses and the mountains, and you can tell that the mountains are painted, and the way that my eyes are perceiving the scale of the models behind him with the village and the houses, it looks like a pretty sizable set, so they really spared no expense. It seems with this, the production is really quite impressive, but also the way they segue from scenes where a character will be talking about something, and then the lighting will change over their face, and then behind them, like, the house will just move away, and then we'll push past that character into the next scene and the next sequence, and it's a different time of day, different lighting. I love the way that they're doing this. Again, it feels like a stage play come to life, and all those kind of moments where the curtain will come down and they'll change the scenery on the stage. Those are kind of removed for the film, and you seamlessly move into them in interesting and different ways. So I think that's a really damn cool way to tell the story. It's always exciting when I see films just told in different ways. Like I said, the music narration is a little bit grating, but and the acting's good. The old woman Oren is very good too, and I'd forgotten the element from the remake where, you know, this character, this woman's about to hit 70. She's expected to go up Mountain Narayama and to die. And so she's approaching the end of her life, and she knows it. And it's just a weird kind of backwards way of thinking, and also how she is aged very well. And clearly this is a woman who, I don't know, she could be in her 40s, maybe 50s, made to look older. But it's very much part of her character that that Oren has aged very well. And she has all her teeth, which is unusual for a woman of her age in this, in this story. And so she gets teased for it. Her grandson makes up this kind of song that everyone sings. She's a devil woman with 33 teeth, and so she's ashamed of having a full set of teeth because she's not supposed to, because she's old. So it's this weird, again, like I said, backwards way of thinking where someone has aged very well and yet they're expected to die, and they're shamed for looking good for their age, and she wants to knock her teeth out, which is a big part of the remake. I don't know if they'll go that far with this one, but yeah, so just interesting dynamics between the characters and her son and her grandson. And I really enjoy, well, I didn't enjoy, but I thought it was funny at the beginning when a man from the other village comes over and tells Oren that, oh yeah, very sad, a woman in our village, her husband died. And Oren's like, oh, how old is she? 45. Oh, perfect, same age as my son, we can hook him up. Like, what brilliant news. Like, just again, the completely different culture. And obviously this is, I'm not sure if this is a story that was told over the centuries and has been put into this film, and whether this was literally a stage play, I'm not too sure. But it's based on a legend. It said that at the beginning with the guy who introduces the film and the story. So, there were times like this where it was just that kind of weird. You get to a certain age and we knock you off. Anyway, I've been blathering on for far too long, for only 20 minutes of the film. I'm going to take a bit of a break now because I need to get some other stuff done that I wasn't expecting to have to get done, but it's only 8:30, so I'll be able to finish it tonight, watch the next hour of the film, and then come back to you at the end with my thoughts, unless something really big happens and I want to talk about it in the meantime. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next clip. Alright, once again, down in the basement. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning now. I ended up continuing the film towards, I think, 11:30 at night, so it was 12:30 before it was finished, so I had to come down here after I let my thoughts on it simmer a little bit and give you my final thoughts on the Ballad of Narayama, the 1958 version, once again by Keisuke Kinoshita. Wow, this was incredible. I loved it. And I just keep thinking about that 80s version, the Shohei Imamura one, which I fell in love with when I watched it for the first time a few years ago. And I can't wait to revisit it now, just to see the comparisons. I mean, they're two films that are so similar, and yet there are these striking differences. Obviously, the fact this is all done on set. They had over 80 sets used in the making of this film, and they spent 6 months shooting it, and it's just endlessly impressive as far as the soundstage work goes. I mean, you can tell how artificial it is, but at the same time it's really impressive, especially the final half hour where we have the journey to Mount Narayama, which is both an incredibly moving section in the film, but also a visually impressive one, and a thematically impressive one. And I think that really I have to do a full review on this. I have to go all out and really talk about it and delve into some of the making of it and credit the actors, because I thought some of the actors are really great in this, especially the actress who plays Oren. I thought she was really good in those quieter moments of showing this emotion of someone who is accepting their mortality based on the tradition that was set down in this village that they live in. And this is based on a story that someone wrote, and it's just interesting, again, thinking about the 80s version. I can't think of any film that has a remake and they're both masterpieces. I truly believe that. I think that the style of this film is so cool and unique and different, using that kabuki style theatre stage play with pulling away the sets, and using the lighting and spotlights. Well, not spotlights, but just like how characters would be isolated and everything around them goes dark, and we focus on those characters in select moments in this film. Just visually, it's so well put together, but the story is powerful too. I was welling up a few times, and I think as a guy who has a mother and a close relationship with his mother, it's an affecting film to consider that kind of not possibility, but well, I mean it's possible, but you know, to think about the idea of carrying your mother up a mountain to let her sit there and die because she's age 70 and it's time for the village's population to be kind of weeded out a little bit. Like, it's horrific, but also just there's something, I don't want to say touching about it, but the way that Orin accepts her potential fate in going up to Mount Narayama and just waiting to die is almost admirable in some ways. And the idea of taking control and ownership of your own death, I think there's something heartbreaking but liberating about that at the same time, and the strength of character she has to face it head on in that way. But I just love how everyone treats it, from her grandson to her, you know, her grandson's girlfriend to her new daughter-in-law, who I thought that character who came in to be the new wife to Orin's son, I thought that character was, you know, underdeveloped, but certainly I liked how we really saw she had a connection with Orin and was really emotionally affected by the idea of Orin going up onto the mountain to die. I just like the humanity of it, even though it's set in this kind of unreal world. Like, literally the way it looks is unreal, but just that kind of so outdated and barbaric practice of, you know, well, you're 70, it's time for you to die. And they show the different ways, which very much they do in the 80s version as well. And in the 80s version they show it in a bit more of an extreme fashion, but the idea of this village that, you know, holds the law to their own standard, you know, they kind of take care of things as they see fit, and it's very much a mob mentality. But also we see Orin as an example of an old person who is willing to accept their fate of going to Mount Narayama to die, and we see an old man who doesn't want to accept his fate. He doesn't want to go and die. He's afraid of death. So we see both sides of it. We don't see just pure, straight, you know, everyone accepts this eventuality. We see someone fighting it as well. But he's a weak old man, and so he doesn't have much to fight it with. And so, you know, this is an unflinching story, an unflinching film. But the style of it was gorgeous. And so, yeah, I think I'll do a full review of it at some point. But for now, my arm is absolutely killing me for some reason. Doing these movie vlogs standing up really hurts my arm. I guess when I'm sitting on the sofa and kind of rest my elbow on the armrest, but absolutely loved it. Phenomenal film. I looked on Letterboxd, and most of the people I know who've seen it didn't rate it quite as highly as me, but there's something about this story, and I'm such a, what's the word? I don't think there is a word. There might be a word, but I'm someone who is fascinated with death. I have a morbid curiosity with it. I think I'm about as afraid of death as most people, but I just find the idea of it incredibly interesting. So whenever there is a film or a story that deals with it in a different kind of way, you know, I mean, we all think about, you know, what's going to happen when I die? When will it happen? How will it happen? This idea of knowing when it's going to happen and having that kind of expiry date on your life placed is an interesting and intriguing and terrifying one. But there's something to it that I find really captivating. It draws me in, and that last sequence of, you know, the last half hour of the film, the journey to Mount Narayama, really just, there's not much going on really. It's all about the mood of it, and I felt that was the case in the 80s version too. So yeah, I'll be reviewing that one in the Epic Film Challenge. I'll probably put it up very close to this video too. Make it a bit of a Ballad of Narayama double bill for Asian cinema season. So with that, thank you for watching. If you've seen the film, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.